my name is Christina Taylor, and I'm a speaker and education specialist at Fidelity National Florida Agency. So what we hope that our agents, our FNF agents, gain from the title journey is the why behind the what. We know that title insurance and closing real estate transactions can be a very task-oriented job. And I love a good to-do list, and I assume that many of our closers and our title agents have some wonderful checklists that they like to check off for each transaction. And we all know that usually that happens very quickly. So what we want folks to gain from the title journey is to take a step back and kind of take a deep breath and say, why do we do those tasks? And why am I checking them off? And why do they have to happen in a certain order? So whenever I'm developing training, and I know Elizabeth has this same vision, we want to provide the why behind the what we do every day. So that's one of our goals in providing this training. And of course, we all know from the past year and a half that our industry is ever changing, sometimes radically. So there's always new information. And by the way, that's another reason why we love what we do, because not one day is ever the same in our industry, no matter what job function you're performing. So we always have a need to have that updated information. And one of the things I know I like to include is our claims history. So agents like to see, hey, what could potentially cause a claim if I do something incorrectly? And we always say it's much better to learn from someone else's mistakes than your own. So that's another little layer of our training, is to say, hey, we want you to do it this way because we want you to avoid a claim down the road. So I think that even seasoned professionals can gain from the title journey, because it's a reminder of some of these changing aspects of our job, as well as a reminder that sometimes I say, hey, it's a great reminder that you've been doing things the right way, and you want that confirmation. So it provides that not only for our seasoned professionals, but as well for people that are new to the industry, or folks that possibly have been in the industry, but now they're being asked to do a different job that they're not as familiar with. So our goal is, again, to give that why behind what we do, why they're checking all of those boxes, and why this is, sometimes it seems so hard maybe to get an answer from a lender, why it's important that you wait and you just keep calling and get that answer from the lender. It's very important. Why do we do that? As well as to just keep up with those ever-changing items and technologies. We all know remote online notarization was a big one this year. There's just always something new to learn. So I think this title journey is a great foundation for anyone to understand the beginning of the process all the way to the end, to have that big picture of this is why we do it and this is how we do it. One thing that's unique about it is we've taken the process from beginning to end. And I know that we offer a lot of unique topics that are very specific, very topical, like bankruptcy or trusts. And those are big topics that everyone needs to know. But I think it's great for people to see the entire process. Again, this goes back to the why behind the what. We need to see how that entire process works so that we can understand more of the why. And I think that's unique about the title journey, that every one of these units, these training units, is a step in that process, so that you see that you're getting closer to the goal of closing and post-closing and writing the policy. So that's one thing that's unique about that. And then I will say this too, and this may be jumping to your next question, but I find this product really unique because, as we know, our industry is constantly changing. The job market is constantly changing, and we have a lot of new people that are coming in. And my husband owns his own business. And when you get new people, it's a huge startup risk for our owners, for our managers, for our partners in law firms to get new people. We know we have the right person on the bus. We think that we have them on the right seat, but how do we get them trained so they work efficiently? And many times in our agents' offices or in our law firm offices, there's no one there that's specifically dedicated to training. So it ends up where the newbie just constantly comes into the manager or the owner's office with individualized questions, just one question after the other. Well, our goal here is really to answer those basic questions and to give our FNF agents a resource to go and research their question and get an idea of where they think that answer may be, and then go to the owner and manager and say, hey, I learned something on the title journey, and they told me where I could follow up in my state underwriting manual, and I looked it up, and here's what I think is the right answer. But I just wanted to confirm with you. That's way better than coming with 10 different individualized questions, right? So we're teaching them, again, this goes to the why. Why are you doing something? Well, as a new person, we want to give you some of that why so that you are better prepared to answer that question for yourself. And of course, we, as your underwriter, are always available to answer questions too. So you can even call your underwriter and say, hey, I've talked to the underwriter and they thought this was a good idea too. So we're taking the basics for these new folks, giving them a firm foundation and additional resources so that they can create their own path and then go to their owner, their manager, their attorney, their law firm partner, and say, hey, here's what I think, and I've done some research. Is this the right way you want to go? So I think that's why this is really unique, because again, we walk through the entire process and then we give them resources to begin to start answering some of those questions on their own, which will assist our owners, our managers, our partners who need to be out getting more business and bringing it in. So it's really to assist our agents in getting up and running as efficiently and economically, and also the correct business risk model too, because we can't forget that underwriting is all about risk. So when we train our people to answer questions, we want them to understand the risk, again, the why behind it, the risk involved in those answers that they are coming up with and at the correct actions to do. So I would say that's why it's unique. And it's also unique because they can access it independently. So I know when you get to the job, you have tasks to do, right? You need to get things done that day, especially if a closing is approaching. So this product is unique too, because you can take a half hour during your lunch or take a half hour when things slow down, and you can take your time again, kind of take a step back, a deep breath, and you can just kind of walk through this and take it in without all of the pressure happening with day to day. So it's really great that we offer this, that you can do it at your own pace, on your own timing, and the topics will be relevant wherever you start and stop. I have the same job I've had for 20 plus years, and I still love it every single day. It's always changing. It's always challenging, but that challenge is great, but the reward matches the challenge. The reward is great also. And one of the anecdotes I used is one of my mentors who has been in the industry for over 50 years and taught me when I was new to underwriting. Back in the day, we had underwriting manuals that were this thick, and we had like 10 of them. So my job the first week was to read through all of these underwriting manuals, everything from probate to trust to guardianship, bankruptcy. These are big legal topics, right? And they're kind of scary. And I thought, how am I going to learn all of this in a week and then answer questions? But what happened was I had a mentor that guided me. So this title journey is really, again, that foundation to be the mentor that guides our agents through the process. So it's not as daunting of a process when you're new, because I don't think anyone expects to be an expert in bankruptcy or probate. And again, that's the challenge. It's new and it's hard almost every day, but we have resources and a team of people that can come around you and help you to to answer your questions and then finish your closing process. So really the overview was, you can do this. It'll be a fun journey. It really will. Every day will look different, but you have people that will come alongside of you. We always said in underwriting too, that our job was to hear from you, our FNF agent, and answer your questions. So one of the things I said in the overview that's really important is never be shy about calling us. Your salespeople, your production people, your underwriters, they love hearing from our agents, because if it's unique to you, it may be unique to us too. We're always learning along with you. So I think the gist of the overview was, it's going to be a wild ride, but it'll be a fun one. The journey will be fun, and get some good people alongside of you that will assist you on that title journey. So I think that was the overall gist of the overview.